Well, the sporting world tonight is in mourning after the death of former AFL player Adam Selwood. It follows the death of his twin brother Troy, one of the football world's most famous families, tonight dealing with an unspeakable tragedy.
Born fewer than 20 minutes apart, identical twins Adam and Troy Selwood tragically taking their own lives within just 3 months of each other. The AFL community in shock.
Just want to send my love to the Selwood family.
It's a family I've known for nearly 20 years, and a family that, I've grown very fond of over the years and loved. So to hear the news this morning, absolutely tragic.
In February, Adam delivered this emotional tribute at his brother's funeral.
A twin is more than a sibling. They're a constant presence, a built-in best mate, and someone who understands you in a way that no one ever could.
And just last month, he spoke of how hard losing Troy had been.
I'm so lucky to be a twin and to have a twin brother who I was able to share on this earth for 40 years. And not only were they great times, they were also moments where you needed counsel and support. You were not selected for the West Coast Eagles in your emergency your 7th time and you're frustrated. He'd be the first person that you'd be able to call to be able to get your way through it.
The two boys from Bendigo inseparable. That is, until the AFL draft intervened. Troy picked by Brisbane while Adam was sent west to play for the Eagles. The highlight of his 187-game career, West Coast's 2006 season, playing in every game, including their grand final victory.
The West Coast Eagles are the premiers!
His retirement in 2013, not the end of his involvement in football though. Adam becoming an advocate for AFLW, setting up the Eagles women's program. Tributes now flowing in from across the football community.
Wonderful family guy, just an unbelievable person. We kept him on because of his quality as a person.
Adam was a dearly loved son, brother, husband and father, and his loss is a tremendous blow for all those who loved him.
A statement from Adam's family revealing their devastation.
We are heartbroken by the passing of Adam earlier today. Words cannot express the grief and sadness we feel.
Adam is survived by his wife, Fiona, and children Lenny and Billy.
Well, with us now is AFL legend and mental health advocate Wayne Schwass. Wayne, this is just too much pain for one family to handle, and it's something that's really shaken the AFL community to its core. How are you doing?
Oh, look, I'm disappointed, I'm devastated, I'm upset, I'm saddened, but that's marginal compared to what Adam's family are dealing with. 3 months ago, they dealt with this with Troy. I can only imagine, as a father of 3 children, the devastation that must have been, but this is replaying that scenario again. And look, I hope that the AFL community continues to extend its arms, its love, its support, its understanding, its sensitivity to the Selwood family. They need all the support when they're ready that they deserve and need, and I hope that they get that into the future for as long as they need to have that support.
Wayne, do you have a view as to what the AFL or the clubs individually should be doing right now for players, but also more broadly to address mental health?
Look, I think that we've matured as an industry. I think that the clubs and the AFL are certainly doing a lot more than perhaps what they did do a decade or 2 ago. So I think that the AFL has certainly invested considerable resources and support to make sure that players, both current and past, are well supported. But I'd like to think, as tragic as this situation is, we need to do more. We've lost 2 players this year, 2 brothers, 2 sons. Go back to the great Danny Frawley passing. We've lost a number of players, and 1 is too many. I think that this is a timely and salient reminder that we have a lot of work to do in this space. But I will say, this is not an AFL issue, this is a societal issue. But I think the AFL has got an opportunity here to be a real leading voice in the conversation that hopefully breaks down barriers, removes stigma, and encourages all players, all staff and all people in the community that the appropriate level of support is out there. It's really important that people who are finding it difficult, that do ask for help and reach out for that support.
It's such a massive shift to go from playing professionally to retiring, moving on to a new life, working out what you're going to do in that life. Do you think there's enough support for players after they leave the game?
I think the AFL and certainly the AFL and the Players Association in particular have done a lot of work to support players to transition. I think that players have a responsibility to assume some of that responsibility to make sure that they're transitioning out of the game. But I think, and this is from a personal perspective, I think one of the challenges is if you play in the system a long time, and I don't mean this to be critical or judgmental, you're institutionalised. All of the feedback, all of the discussion, all of the information that you're receiving is largely directed as you as the athlete. And I know from my own transition into civilian life, it took a number of years for me to work out who I was and what were my values, what did I want to do and what did I want to represent post being an AFL player. It's a tremendous opportunity to play elite level sport. AFL is a great game. But once again, I think that this is a timely and sad reminder that we need to do everything we possibly can to not only support our players when they're involved in the game, but we're supporting our players when they transition out of the game. So that transition is as smooth as it possibly can be.
All right, Wayne, we really appreciate your time talking to us on a day that's been really hard on the broader AFL community. Thank you.
And of course, if you find yourself in need of help, crisis support is available 24/7 through Lifeline on 13 11 14.